All right, people, here we go. Welcome in. It is, what is it? It is now Friday, February the 7th, and it is time for the NBA Tip-Off Show. It is powered by WagerTalk.com. I'm Joe Raineri. SportsGrid.com is where you can find me. As always, joined by Rob Vino. SportsMemo.com is where you can find him, along with Ski Profit over at WagerTalk.com. And, of course, our man, Mr. Tony Finn over at WagerTalk.com. You can always catch him. And, as a matter of fact, we do have a live look at some of his picks from last night. And, yep, there they are. Look at that. There's the Tony Finn picks. If you guys tailed them there, congratulations. Yep.
Share them with me. Share them with me since I don't know. Share them with me.
That was a very good night there. Gentlemen, welcome in. It is a 8-game card here tonight. And before we get started,
he's fucking on.
Just saying, before we get started, we do want to welcome in those of you joining us in the chat room there. Good to see you guys here today.
The children may want to leave.
We've got let's take some inventory here. We'll take a little attendance here. Make sure that our who's in here. Molecular Ninja is in there. Steven Peterson's in there. Joe's in there. A lot of Rest in Peace Finn is in here, too, which I've got also nice. Let's see what we got. Matt Epstein, good to see you. Mike Gifford, Square 707. Yes, the gang is here. And welcome in, guys. It's good to see you. And, look at Sonny. Sonny Carleone. Yeah, you spelled Carleone wrong. But that's joining us here also in the chat room. Caleb, good to see you guys. It is a happy Friday, and we do have plenty of games to get to here tonight, guys. Games we actually enjoy because now that we figured out who's playing and who's not playing tonight, it took a little while here today, but the lines seem to have finally leveled themselves out. We'll do a quick review of last night. I'll start with you, Rob. What might have been the big surprise for you last night on the card? What was the game that you saw was a bit of a head scratcher?
Yeah, the people know what I was scratching my head over last night, and that was that 18-point fourth quarter put forth by the Lakers when I needed over 238.5. The game got to 232 because LeBron and company decided that, despite having all the offensive advantages from a fundamental standpoint, they didn't know how to score more than 18 points in the fourth quarter. Alex Caruso airball sent our colleague Ski to bed. He had enough of that, and I was stupid enough to watch the rest of it. So it was a bad fourth quarter, Joe, for a team that was in the game the whole way and offensively just couldn't find a way to score, which is what they should have done rather easily. Charlotte scored 110 against that Houston team in Houston. LA at home, 111. 1 point better than Charlotte, and LA had home floor advantage and so much more physical advantages. So that was my disappointment, but the good things were New Orleans got over the total. Portland, San Antonio got over the total. Those were nice.
What, Ski, what part of the, were you, how shocked were you about that Houston game there? Obviously, the 18-point fourth quarter, the Lakers it looked like, honestly, a varsity team versus a freshman team there. Like, Howard didn't even have to jump to get rebounds. Tucker's like 6'5". It's like, all right, I'll grab it. Like, sit down. I got you. Let me just get over there. But what the hell happened, in your opinion, at the end there? Was it just kind of a throw in the towel situation or what?
It was sickening. As Rob said, I didn't even want to watch. I'll be honest. I went to sleep. I went to bed after a certain point. I didn't even see the very, very end. So I was sick with my Lakers. I don't know how they couldn't score on a PJ Tucker at the center. The one thing, though, I will say, I told everybody, if you like Houston, take them on the money line.
Yes. Yes. There was actually some good to come out of that show yesterday, and that was listen, I brought up the fact of, Houston possibly, covering, and he said, listen, and credit to you, and it was straight up that, listen, if you think Houston is got a shot at cut, you might as well bet them on the money line because their ass is going to win straight up. And to Ski's credit, he said they're either going to win or the Lakers are going to blow them out. There's one of two things that are happening here. So Ski was right. Rob was right. Oh, hey, Tony, what's going on, Tony? Let's talk about all the things you got right yesterday. And let me count. Oh, None, huh? None, Finn. None. How's Chicago doing, by the way, since you made such a big damn deal with Ski about the Chicago Bulls there? How'd that work out? You still waiting for him to score 120? How's that working out for you?
Last time I did the math, the game was a push, so I didn't collect anything, but I didn't pay anything unless you're going to change the rules and the number.
No, because you throw out fake numbers all the time, so we get it.
I don't throw out fake numbers. I throw out my numbers. My numbers are not fake numbers.
That was good to go. Making up rules as you go along. How about the Knicks? Did you watch any of the Knicks game?
Are you talking to me?
Yeah, no. Did you watch any of that the Knicks victory when they won?
I watched it. I absolutely watched the Knicks victory. It was two stellar playoff bound rosters.
Ooh.
That if given the opportunity, I will gladly and push all in on both teams. I'll push in on my $10 in my savings account too and buy a percentage of some stock.
That's that. Shits and giggles.
Shits.
One up. Congratulations, guys. All you guys in the chat room, too. You guys, I know some of you, believe it or not, I wasn't the only one on the Knicks. There was a bunch of you guys I saw, too, that were on the Knicks last night. And some of you even, swallowed and held your nose and took Houston there. But, no, kudos to everybody here in the room. You guys, some of you guys made a lot of money last night. Others, we got crushed there. But it's the circle of sports betting, guys. It all comes back around. And now tonight, whatever you might have lost last night, it's time to get it back here tonight, Finn. And call me crazy, but I got
You're crazy.
There's a lot of holes on this board here tonight that I think opportunities that we can go ahead and crush it. And I think we'll start with the top one here, guys, with the Dallas Mavericks and the Washington Wizards. This game opened up -3 for Dallas, and now we see some Wizards money coming in. It's pushed down to 2. I'm looking at a total of 234, and Porzingis still questionable with a broken face. I do believe there's really nothing crazy for the Mavericks. Now, listen, Rob, every time we talk Washington, it's usually a total play coming out of it. What do you think here in this spot at home against the Mavs?
Well, it is hard with Dallas, guys, because, first of all, Dallas's road record is, you can't debate how good they've been on the road against the points this season. However, the majority of that is with either Luka on the floor, Porzingis on the floor, or both on the floor, never without either one of them on the floor. So it could be a little bit tougher here tonight, even though it is the Washington Wizards. Dallas, just to go ahead and give you the exact number, 16-5 with 2 pushes against the number on the road so far this year, 14-9 over the total. These are 2 teams, interestingly enough, that aren't really affected by anything that happened at the trade deadline. So you'll see, despite the injury notwithstanding here, you'll see the full lineups, full complement of players on the floor for the Washington Wizards. At home, Joe, they're always bound to score points. Dallas is not the best defensive team in the world. Washington's always bound to give up points. So it's hard to play under here, but you really have to sit on Porzingis and see what his status is going to be for sure if you're going to play side here. I wouldn't play side. Could still look toward over because Washington is that type of team, but it's probably a game you're best off leaving alone until maybe 30 or 60 minutes before tip-off when you know the full story.
Tony Fan, talk to me, man. Yep. Where you going here? You back in? Can you back the Mavs at this point?
You got the tape on? Are we taping this?
Yes, we are taping.
Are we live?
Yes, we are live.
Because we want to make sure that nothing's dubbed over.
Oh no! All right, are you going to start making up your own numbers now? Like, what number is it in Finn's world?
I don't
I'm just
make
curious.
up numbers.
Okay, not a problem.
I spit out my numbers.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
The Wizards giving up 125 points a game last 6 games. Dallas scores 126 at least tonight. Wizards might even score 120. I like the over in this game. That's what I like. I didn't play it, didn't release it, and just for the official record, not even going to take a side bet on it. Wizards over. What is the number? 235.
230. What do we got? 234. Is that what you guys are seeing as well? 234.
Yes.
Yeah, 234.
Yep. Over 234.
Going over 234. All right.
I got a little paper here. I'm going to sign it.
All right. Love this. Talk to me here, Ski. Where are you going, brother, man? Over, under, side? Where's it going?
I have to look it's no way you can get me to play Washington here. I mean, I hear what you're saying. Luka's out. They perform without Luka. Porzingis is still questionable. It's still a possibility he could play.
Right.
But even if he doesn't play, I mean, it's not the end of the world versus Washington Wizards squad. Thomas Bryant is still out for them. They're not the biggest team in the league. And Dallas, we know how they perform on the road. They perform well. All right, so off of a loss on the road, they're 10-2 against the spread in 2019. And then Dallas, when their last game was at the house and they're on the road, they've covered their last 19. I think Dallas shows up tonight regardless. I like Jalen Brunson. A couple other players that we have to watch out for are Barea and Seth Curry. They didn't play the last game, but I think they both could return tonight. And if they get all three, it's a slam dunk. If they get any of them, I like it. If they don't get any of them, I still have faith because it's the Washington Wizards. And I agree with Tony, and I like points. You can never go wrong with the over in a Wizards game. Both of these teams, bottom 5 defensive rated teams over the last 5 games. So give me Dallas, give me the over.
You got that, Finn? You're writing it down? Because I believe that's an agreement. I believe that's an agreement for you. Okay. Make sure. Way to go, Ski. You want to rethink it, Ski? Because he likes the over, too. You all right?
I'm good.
All right, good. All right, so we'll move on to, let's see. Here's a fun one, guys. The Philadelphia 76ers, at home at least, taking on the Memphis Grizzlies here. It opened up as 5 for the Sixers. It's now 5.5. I'm seeing even a couple of 6s out there, guys. The Grizzlies, 221 is what it opened at, 222.5. I'm seeing a 223 or 2 out there as well. So, Rob, I'll talk to you. Listen, the 76ers, and we'll get to an updated Ski's hell no list here of teams to never bet at this point. But Sixers on the road, one thing. Sixers at home is another. Do you trust them at home to be able to get the job done here?
Well, I think I trust them to score points, Joe, and that is knowing going in that Alec Burks and Glenn Robinson III are likely not involved in this game. I think the last I just saw from the NBA injury report was trade still pending.
They're out.
Neither of those guys going to play.
They've been ruled out.
They're out. So you go into this knowing that they're going to be shorthanded because Josh Richardson is still out. But I'm going to play over here, Joe, based on what I've heard the last 3 days being right here in southeastern Pennsylvania, right there, 30 minutes from the arena. And that's the philosophical change that's going to take place here in Philadelphia. We've heard him talk about it. The head coach has said it, and Joel Embiid has said it. They're going to play faster the remainder of the year. They feel like they're best in the open floor. They don't want to play half-court offense. It's not what works for them. Memphis is more than willing to play 94 feet of basketball up and down with this team. Memphis scores on anybody. Philadelphia shorthanded is not the best defensively for sure. When you're short bodies, obviously, other guys have to play more minutes. So I think Ja Morant and company come into Philadelphia, put on an offensive show. I think Philadelphia runs and gets their share of points as well. To me, 222.5 looks a little bit too small. I'm going to ignore this side, but I will play the total up and over.
All right, they're going to take the total in this one. And by the way, big shout out to Molecular Ninja. Hanging out in the chat room. He is an engineer. Also, Sonny Carline wants to point out, and I should also point out that Finn, listen, NBA, you sucked ass. There's no way around it. But you crushed it in college last night, and I do want to bring that up as well because I did not see that Cincinnati game coming out last night. So congratulations there, Finn. Just pointed out you are getting some love there. Way to go. But talk to me here, Ski, in this game tonight because I don't know that I trust. You know what? Let's get an updated hell no list here real quick so people can understand what we are looking at. This is Ski's hell no list, official as of Friday today. All right, so we do have the Jazz. The Lakers have now made the Sixers are on the road. They're on the hell no list. Detroit, absolutely, as well as Phoenix. So I don't know. Sixers on the road. What about at home, Ski? You trusting them or not trusting them?
Hey, you sneaky, Joe.
I'm just throwing it out there.
Sneaky's not the right word.
But the Sixers, this game feels weird to me. Looking at it straight up and down, black and white, I think Memphis is a play easily because Philly has not been playing well. Memphis has been playing well. I think you would just ride Memphis until it stops, until they stop.
Mm-hmm.
And but like I said, they're much better at home. The last thing everybody remembers is them losing last night on the road and how they've been playing. So it's tough for me on the side. I agree with Rob 100%. I like points in this game. It's went over 4 of the last 5 on the road for Memphis. On a back-to-back for Philly, the over is 5-2-1. And when Philly is on a back-to-back and they're playing a winning team, total greater than 213, the over is 7-0. And I just like points. Both teams are going to play with pace. And I don't see Philadelphia playing much defense. I see Memphis getting whatever they want. So I like Memphis if I have to play the side. And I like the over.
Tony, what are you talking? I mean, listen, a lot of guys, I almost feel like Memphis is the trendy dog here tonight, right? Like there's going to be an awful lot of people putting money down on Memphis because, they're the it team right now. Are you buying it or no?
Trendy team? No, I'm not buying trendy teams. There's no trendy teams for me. There's no sexy teams for me. There's a game, there's a winner and there's a loser, and you do the best you can to not falsify information so we can pick a winner. In this game, it's fairly simple. Philadelphia 22 wins in 24 home games, right? Going to pick up the pace and run. You want to play right in the hands of the Grizzlies tonight. Pick up the pace against the Grizzlies here. They are better in the open court with the rookie than they are with the veteran point guard that stands 7 feet tall and can't shoot a free throw. This is so easy tonight. I mean, right now you're supposed to fade Philadelphia home or away until they prove otherwise. They're not playing well. They got problems in the locker room. The fans want to trade the coach for Shaq. Anyone. They want to trade the coach for anyone. I like Memphis here plus the points.
All right, so you're going to go Memphis plus the points here. He's a big believer, which I think it's going to be I don't want to say it's a turning point, but I do think Philadelphia got to take a long look at themselves in the mirror here tonight with this game. So we'll see how that goes. How about the Hawks, guys? Interesting game on the road, taking on the Celtics. And I do believe now, if I just to double check, so Kemba is active, Marcus Smart is active, Gordon Hayward is out, Jaylen Brown is out, DeAndre Hunter back for Atlanta, and the number continues to rise, guys. I'm seeing 9.5s across the board, even a couple of 10s out there for the Celtics. Atlanta Hawks 232.5 in this game. So, Rob Vino, talk to me. That's some firepower no longer there tonight for Boston. You buying the double digits?
Well, again, Joe, I'll let the other two guys handle the side, but let me speak on the total. And real quick before I do, anybody interested in Joel Embiid props for the game we previously talked about?
Ooh.
Just give a check to see if Valanciunas does play. Right now he's listed as questionable. If he does not go, Embiid would figure to have a big game. Ben Simmons would figure to have an open lane. Without Valanciunas, there's nobody at the rim for that team. So he's an important cog in that one. Here, there's nobody in the middle, Joe. Atlanta traded Alex Len. Clint Capella's not going to play. They don't have a center to play here. Bruno Fernando is not going to play. They have no center. So for Boston, a team which Tony has correctly pointed out a zillion times, a team without a man in the middle, we're going to play guards on guards, swings on swings here, and Boston has the better players, but Atlanta has the capable scorers as well. Teague is playing. Trae Young's playing. Hunter's playing. It looks like scoring up and down the floor here. We talk often that we'd prefer to have Kemba Walker in the game. It didn't matter when he was out because Tatum and Jaylen Brown took over the scoring there. So they substitute those two for the other two. I mean, Boston really is a team that just substitutes players for players here. Sit two, play two. I think this game goes well over the number, Joe. To me, 232.5 too small. There's nobody to deter anybody from getting to the rim. Lots of shooters on the floor here tonight. Again, Friday nights in the NBA. I kind of like them as far as points are concerned. So give me Atlanta-Boston up and over.
All right, Ski, what are you doing, man? Who do you like in this game? It's an interesting one because obviously somebody's betting Boston at home without Brown and Hayward. Do you trust them to be able to cover by at least double?
Hawks are a bet on team for me going forward, just not tonight. With the guys out and Capella not there yet, I just can't get there yet with the Hawks. Especially, I like them more at the house than on the road. I mean, I do agree with Rob on that total as far as the over. Hawks have been playing to the over. They're good for the over on the road. And on the side, I have to go with Boston. It's they've been playing too well to go against them, especially at home. Hawks, like I said, they're better on team for me going forward, just not in this spot. I'll take Boston, and I'll take the over.
All right, he's taking Boston. He is taking the over, and let's check in with the peeps there. Matt Epstein in the house. What's going on with Enos Cantor? I think he's back. Is he not? I'm pretty sure he is.
Yeah, he's been back.
Enos is back over there. Jonathan Ramirez loves Boston to cover here tonight. Tosh, welcome in. She's Celtics destroy them easily. Well, we got a lot of Celtics love going on here tonight, and there's also a lot of folks don't think we could ever fade Philly at home. So interesting chat room going on there. Interesting points of view in there. How about this game, guys? As we take a look at two teams just played a game a couple of nights ago called the Toronto.
I like Atlanta in the points tonight, by the way.
Yeah, I was going to say, Tony did get skipped there.
Did I not get you? I'm just so used to. I am so.
No, I mean,
here, Tony.
we know what you're used to, but we're not going to share it with the audience.
It wasn't gonna be worth it anyway. But that's all right. We'll give you because usually
we'll keep it in house, baby.
You just kind of go around
Atlanta plus
anyway,
Atlanta may win this straight up.
Yeah.
I figured out how to get Tony to actually get off the pot. You just simply skip him, and he gives you the deal. How wonderful is that? Look at that. So you're on Atlanta?
I skip
is that it?
right to the toilet.
Okay, just want on the record points. Now tell me, does Indiana tonight get the revenge from blowing that fourth quarter lead in Toronto a couple of nights ago, losing by a point? They are at home, but they're getting a point here. They're a dog at home tonight against Toronto. At some point, Toronto. Are you buying them, Finn?
Spit it out.
Are you buying them? It's a tough game. Tony Finn, are you buying them?
Well, I thought you skipped me.
Okay, skip you. We'll go to Rob Vino.
right.
Tony Finn, what do you want to do? Is it Indiana or is it Toronto?
You mean the side? Total. I don't like the side in this game at all. If I'm going to play the side, I'm going to be on Toronto. I didn't play it, didn't release it. However, I believe Home Depot is going to be a little better than he's been. He's had a difficult time adjusting and melting in with this group. And Indiana hasn't played well since he's returned from a year-long injury. So Toronto playing the best basketball. They're playing the best basketball since last year when they won the championship. And it is difficult to get in the way of this Raptors team. And the way Indiana's played with Home Depot back, it's not difficult. I actually like the over in this game, despite the fact that Brogdon is in and Indiana's a better team with Brogdon. And Toronto's been terrific defensively, but I like the over. I like let's just play. I tell you what, I take all that back. I like Toronto and the over. If anyone doesn't like that, I got side bets. I got Sawbucks. I got the print machine back in the shop warming up.
Ooh, so just to be clear, you like all right? Because
Toronto and the over.
Did I skip Tony? No, right? Okay, so just to be clear here, Tony, we got your point now. You like Toronto and you like the over. What are you guys seeing for a number here in this Toronto game? I'm showing 218, somewhere around there.
Yeah, I've got 218 and now a half, almost universally,
okay.
Joe.
That's what I'm thinking too. All right, so let me ask you here, Rob, before we start throwing side bets here towards Tony. At some point, right? Toronto's going to lose a game again, no? Aren't they? At some point.
No, not necessarily.
Again, what you would think. And real quick here, for those watching this, you will understand that there's a little trouble in our locker room too here.
Damn
in case
right
you haven't
there
noticed yet. You know, a little like the Sixers here.
You notice it also
I didn't know they allowed women. I thought this was a man's locker room.
There's the losers, and they, guys who go 0 for what do they go 1 for 10 from 3? They tend to be a little salty. It's rough. It's rough. I get it. Yep. Mm-hmm.
All right, let's get to the basketball here. Mm-hmm. Like you said, Joe, they played the other night. It was a real tight game. Toronto came from way back to win. Mm-hmm. Still, the T.J. Warren injury for Indiana would bother me. We still don't know if he's going to play or not. We didn't mention the other night that Toronto, and they've scored without him in the 2 games that he's been missing, but Norman Powell has been a guy we've mentioned before. That's a big deal. He's out again, got a fractured hand, I think, and, of course, Gasol. I'm a firm believer, said it many times before, that coaches love to fix what went wrong the previous time. And the previous time here, both of these teams gave up over 50% shooting. I don't think either one of these coaches allows the other team 2 nights later to shoot 50% again. So for me, it's going to be under. I agree with this very, very slight line move. It went from 219 to 218.5. I know Toronto's played to the over multiple times this season, but I think that this one stays under. I think we get the Eastern Conference defensive-minded game here.
Ski, talk to me, man. Where are you going? Where are you going in this one?
Oladipo could rest tonight.
I don't know if he's listed as questionable. So's Warren, though. I think Warren and him are listed as questionable tonight.
Well, Warren has to get cleared, I think, from concussion, and Oladipo just might rest. So if they don't have either one of those guys, they're not keeping up.
Yeah.
It'll have to be Toronto. Toronto's been playing better lately anyway, so the only way I could look on the side would be Toronto right now, and I'll let those guys have the total. I'll just stick with the Raptors.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a absolute. It's going to be a bash tonight. That's for sure. It's because I think they're a little pissed off at losing too. I'd be shocked if he does. I don't know if they limit his minutes, but at home, they may want the fans to see a little old Home Depot here tonight. It'll be interesting.
Yeah, with a day off in between, Joe, it seems kind of crazy, doesn't it?
Yeah, I would be shocked if he's not on that court there, and they got to eventually get a win with him on the court. But you listen, you got a couple of games here where they got a win last night. The Houston Rockets now traveling to Phoenix here, guys. Second leg of a back-to-back. They are favorites on the road, laying 2. I see a lot of 2s, 2.5s, 234.5, 235s even out there. Rob, I'll start with you, my man. I don't know. You trust the Houston small ball lineup to get a job once again today, or what?
Well, Russell Westbrook's going to rest. We talked about it yesterday. He would play one or the other. The TNT game figured to be the one he played, and he did, and he played real well, scored 40+. I don't see any problem with Houston scoring if, on any given night where Harden might rest and Westbrook takes over, where Westbrook might rest and Harden takes over. The remaining core of this team has a lot of capability to score. We saw it last night, especially in this type of offense. Eric Gordon, a shooter. Ben McLemore, a shooter. All of a sudden, Robert Covington on this team, not only their inside guy, but a shooter. So I don't see any trouble with Houston as far as points are concerned, even with Westbrook resting. I had made the comment yesterday that I would readjust and make my baseline total with the Houston Rockets about 244. But you can't play it here, Joe, because the other night, when we had Phoenix against the Pistons, talked about how they were missing their scoring leaders 5 through 8. Adds up to 40 points. All of those guys are out again. You look at what Phoenix used the other night, just a short 7-man rotation, but the bench was Cheick Diallo, Elie Okobo, and Javon Carter. And that's all they have for a bench. It puts a ton of pressure. I mean, Bridges has to move to the starting lineup because they have no players. Generally, I would play this game over. Little nervous. I think you have to play Houston here. I just don't think. And, of course, if I go with our colleague over here, they're part of the hell no list, so I won't say Phoenix. But I think you have to play Houston in this game. Westbrook or no Westbrook, doesn't matter.
Interesting. Why don't we go ahead and take a look at that Skis Hell No list, updated as of Friday, February the 7th. You guys might see, look at that Phoenix. Phoenix is on that list there, Ski. So talk to me here, man. It's your damn list. To me, there's only one play here, right? And that's Houston, no?
Yeah. Well, first off, I can't let you get away with the Lakers on there. They're not there just yet. I know
as
they didn't get it
last
last
night.
The
fans. As voted in by the fans
Okay.
tonight. It gets updated every day.
All right. Yeah, but Phoenix is definitely hell no. They've covered one game out of the last 6. Houston, they won with the small ball lineup. They've covered 6 of their last 9. They've been playing better on offense and defense. I don't really think it matters. That's a second of a back-to-back. I'm not touching Phoenix. I'll go with Houston, and if I have to play the total, I would expect points. I'm not expecting too much defense either side.
Okay. Tony, what do you think, man? It's you trust Phoenix at home?
Tonight I do. I trust Phoenix at home tonight. I would, if I was playing this game, and I'm not playing this game. If I was releasing this game, I'm not releasing this game. I would be releasing Phoenix plus the points.
Oh,
Starbucks it is.
Oh,
here, I tell you what. I'm going to do you a favor. No.
Let him finish.
It's pretty simple. It's pretty simple. I don't need points. Ski straight up.
Phoenix straight up, right at home, taking down Houston.
Yeah, I mean, you're going to have the whole panel in on that, Tone. Yeah. I mean, I can't let that
bring them on.
Yeah, I can't let Ski be out on.
We got to get involved here.
Let me just remind you, in case you didn't see it, the hell no list includes the Phoenix Suns. I'm not sure if you saw this over here. It's our very last one. Phoenix Suns on the hell no list, and you're going that way. So what do you think, Ski? You a couple of Starbucks here? What do you think?
Oh, yeah, I'm definitely down. I'm not letting it get past me.
Mm-hmm. Done. How about it, Rob? Are you in?
Yeah, no, you have to be. And Pick'em he's giving us, Joe. I mean, yeah, if you said that Pick'em, absolutely.
Yeah.
Next thing, Joe's probably going to ask for points. So.
No, listen, you already owe me so much money. I'd feel bad even taking any more of it. So we'll just move on to the next game.
And what do I owe you?
Let's see exactly.
What do I like paying. I like
woodworking is in
the
chat room here. He is also helping out. Look at that. The line is sketchy, even without Westbrook. I will agree with that, Anthony. That is for sure. Suns taking this. You do have some love there, Finn. You do got some support in the chat room, some Phoenix Suns fans.
Smart chat room.
Smart chat room. All right, guys, we learned the Heat I don't think they're playing anybody tonight, right? Is Butler out tonight? I think that
yes.
Hero's out.
Yes.
So they took out a whole bunch of guys here for a rest day, but it is Sacramento. So, Rob, does it matter to you? Sacramento at home. It does look like the line flipped here a little bit. 1.5 now for Sacramento. 219.5 for a total. What do you think here, Rob?
It is a short unit, Joe. It really is. I mean, what I have in front of me when I made this lineup after seeing all the subtractions from it, I think we show Dragic and Nunn to play guards here tonight. Adebayo would move to center, Derek Jones Jr. and Kelly Olynyk as forwards. And beyond that, they just don't have anything. So if we're going to worry about fatigue a little bit, will Sacramento run the basketball and force all these guys to play huge minutes? You know, Dragic is not necessarily built for 35, 38 minutes anymore. He's great off the bench playing his 23, 24, but I don't know. I question Miami a little bit. I would probably go to what Ski said earlier about the Atlanta Hawks, where Miami certainly looks as if they're a play-on team. And not that they haven't been already, but after the additions to the roster, they look like they're a play-on team. But tonight, while everything's still in flux and they're shorthanded, I don't know that I could get there. So perhaps it's a night where Sacramento gets the money, and maybe even a game where it stays under the total.
Ski, it's interesting. You know, looking at this hell no list, I don't think we've ever found Sacramento on this list here. Interesting enough, but you tell me, man. Even without the top of the order there for Miami, you still trust Sacramento? I mean, when is the last time Miami played? When was that? Was it Sunday?
2 nights ago.
Just the other night, right?
Wednesday night.
It was against the Clippers, wasn't it?
Wednesday night. That's right. It was the Clippers. Yep.
They lose by 30.
It's just so many bodies out for Miami. I know that against the spread off of a loss is an angle 13-2, but it's very tough for me to back them here. I always want to back them at home, not necessarily on the road. And Joe, you said it a few times. Miami likes to play the better teams on the road, not necessarily teams like Sacramento. So I would honestly lean more towards Sacramento here. They've covered 4 out of their last 6, and versus the better teams, 55% win teams or greater. They're 12-9-1 against the spread. So I probably would look towards their way. But I like the total in this one. This went over 9 of the last 12 road games for Miami, over 10 of the last 12 in general for Sacramento. Both teams, they're not playing with much pace, but both offenses have been efficient. And just looking at Miami, like I said, a lot of people like against the spread off of a loss, but looking when they're on the road and they're off of a loss, total greater than 216 the last 10 times, 10-0 to the over. And does it matter that Jimmy Butler's not there? Yeah, it matters. But he's a lot of defense. It doesn't matter for the total. The over is 5-1 without Jimmy Butler. So give me the over.
All right, going over there. Talk to us, Finn. Where you're doing a lot of head shaking. I don't know if it's I don't know what you got going on there. If it's just is the brownie kicking in or what's going on? Talk to me.
No. But anybody in the audience got a brownie or two? I will buy them.
Hide it. I got you.
This is in this game. There is no point spread. So let's just throw out any ATS numbers. Let's just talk about the fact that Sacramento's, I think they're 2-11, last 13 straight up. I think they're 3-13 in 3-13 without Bagley. Is that? I'm not sure those numbers are accurate. Miami can be no bench, and in a game where all you have to do is win. I think it's in my world, in my orbit, it's a simple play. You play Miami.
Yeah, it's 14-1 off a loss to actually back up Finn's point here. They are actually pretty profitable coming off that loss Wednesday night against the Clippers, but no Jimmy Butler. But do I need to remind folks that they started the year without Jimmy Butler because he got a couple of baby mamas, he had kids and everything else, and next thing you know, they still started off the year pretty good, 5-0 without him. So
we know you love Miami, Joe.
I'm not even on him. I'm not even on the game. I am waiting. I have waited the entire show to get to the final game tonight on the card, where we are looking at the Portland Trailblazers here, guys. One of the hottest teams in the NBA here. Dame Lillard just still out of his mind, taking on the Utah Jazz. So we got Jazz tonight at home. Guys, this is up to 10. We're looking at a 10-point spread now here. Hassan Whiteside questionable after, let's face it, his arm's probably hurt after, 21 and a half boards last night. His arm's probably hurt reaching up that much. I don't see anything really for Utah listed here. So Utah's getting pounded here, 226 and a half. It's up to 228 I'm seeing. Rob Vino, talk to me here. It is Utah. When is the last time Utah won a game? I'm trying hard to believe when it was. Is it 2 weeks ago, a week ago, 10 days?
Well, it's 6 games worth.
Ooh.
Not only have they lost all 6, they've lost them all against the spread, Joe. And the most recent one was probably the biggest thud of all. When you lose to Denver, who dressed 7 players, it was ridiculous. And you blow a 15-point lead on your home floor. They got beat by 2 players. They got beat by Jokic. They got beat by Jamal Murray. Those 2 guys combined to win that game. I think Gary Harris was 0 for 13 from the field, and they still won. There's no way I could get to the Utah Jazz right now. That aside, the one thing that you can seemingly get to every night at this point in time is Portland over. And they just continue to go over. We mentioned the other day they only scored 99 points couple of games ago, and the game got over because not only do they score, but they allow the other team to score. Utah's had trouble defensively in this bad string that they're in. Mm-hmm. I know my partner down there, Mr. Finn, doesn't like the head coach of this team, so we won't give him any credit either.
Okay.
I think you just play over, blindly play over here, and for a couple of bucks, and I think you got the right side.
Blindly go with the over in this one. Tony Finn, what do you think? Are you agreeing? It's the Jazz, baby. Talk to me.
I spoke to I exchanged some information with a colleague of mine in Salt Lake City, and there is already talk. Not that it should surprise anyone. There's talk about some of the coaching moves, some of the decisions, the fact that this team isn't not only playing consistent basketball, they have been defenseless almost in more games than not over the last 10 outings or 10 contests. And for the most part, Gobert, if you guys, anyone here watched film or watched the Portland game a few days back when Portland beat Utah at home as dogs on no rest, mind you. Gobert was schooled by Whiteside, and when Curry and the group of the second rotation left this Portland team in the offseason, I was not shy about not so much in the show, but on In Game Live, many other shows that this team is going to suffer. I mean, they people do not realize what they lose or what they lost with Curry in this game, in this situation. I really like the over here. I like the over. The fact is, not only do I like the over, I'm considering looking at the numbers right now. I'm considering pushing in on the first quarter over. While Utah starts slow, it hasn't necessarily been the case against Portland, and it hasn't been the case when they're at home. They're averaging about 30 points in the first quarter. Portland about the same, a little less on the road. How about over 58 first quarter and over game 226.5? I'll leave Portland alone, although I'd like to play them plus the points, but I'll play over first quarter, over game.
Holy crap! Did he just play a quarter over? Did we just hear that right?
Yeah, I was surprised too. I don't know if you saw me.
I don't do it very often.
Oh, all right, Ski. Talk to me, baby. Where are we going with this game tonight?
Let me get myself together after that.
No shit, Finn.
I have that effect on women.
I'm just saying, man. You coming out of left field and making quarter bets now. First quarter, goddamn.
Buckle at
that sex phone voice.
Yeah, I was gonna say. You see him? He's dropping down, is what he's doing there. Go ahead, Ski. Talk to me, man. What are we getting?
Hey, I got a little excited about that voice.
Can you throw that list up there one more time, Joe?
Let me throw the list up just in case you guys have missed it. There you go, Ski. What are we looking at?
Number one on there, Utah Jazz.
Yes, the Jazz, baby, the Jazz. Talk to us, Ski. What's going on with this game?
There's no way I'm looking towards playing the Jazz, Joe. They haven't covered any of their last 5 games. They're not playing good basketball. They're in the perfect spot to beat up on Denver, and they couldn't do it. I mean, that tells me all I need to know about Utah. And Portland, they've been playing good ball, minus the one game. I mean, you can expect one bad game out of the hot games that they've had. They're 5-1 against the number of their last 6. The one thing, they're on a back-to-back. So with that said, go ahead, Fan.
No, 5 games in 8 days too. That's true. There's a fatigue factor. You're right.
Yep.
They're tired. So with that said, I like Portland early on the first half. I don't want to take the entire game. I expect them to come out, give energy, continue to play good, but I'll expect it for 24 minutes, not 48. So give me Portland first half plus 6, I think now.
Interesting.
Don't forget that over in the first quarter.
Oh yeah, the first quarter. Oh, I'm still blown away by Finn and the quarter bet there. And Rob, you're over in this game altogether, correct?
Yeah, they played Utah on a back-to-back during this stretch, and they went over the total. Game hit 231 points.
But
right
that was
now,
in Portland.
And when you watch this team right now, they just don't ever look really fatigued. They look like a team that's energized. So I'm in on the over, yeah. And they're 9-1 to the over last 10 games.
All right, interesting stuff here. And now, guys, as we take a look here, what do we got? I'm trying to think. Portland, a lot of over. Yog is back in the over. Some folks absolutely like your quarter bet there, Finn. So congratulations. You're getting a little quarter love there coming out. So it's best bet time here, guys. Which way are you going? A couple games we didn't get to, but they involve the Pistons. Nobody really cares. So talk to me, Rob. We'll start with you, man. Tonight on the card, where are you looking best bet-wise?
I'll go back to the beginning of the card, Joe, where we started 1 or 2 games in. I'll take Atlanta and Boston over 232 and a half, whatever that number is right now. No center play on either side here. Just don't see anybody stopping penetration for either side. Plenty of shooters, plenty of scorers. Boston sits 2, brings the other 2 back, Smart and Kemba. We know Marcus Smart's a little better defensive player, but I don't think it matters much here. I think you're asking both these teams to get to 116. I think they probably do that. So give me over in the Boston-Atlanta game.
All right, going over Boston-Atlanta. Love it. Finn, best bet, brother man. Where are you going?
Well, there's nothing special about this Boston team. I mean, they're a good regular season team because
watch that Orlando game, you notice that.
What's that?
I said if you watch that Orlando game during the week, you notice that. Yeah, and that was a good lesson for anyone who watched that game. With much like Indiana, without Brogdon, without Marcus Smart, this Boston team, it doesn't have the same defensive intensity. I believe wholeheartedly that he's the lead on this team, especially when it comes to effort and defense. Half of defense is effort, and I couldn't agree more with Rob
I'm going to take Atlanta and the 10 points.
Interesting. Backing. All right. So he's going with going Atlanta there. Ski, talk to us, man. Where you going here tonight? Best bet.
I'm gonna stay true to my hell no list, Joe.
Oh.
And
all right. Wait. Let's just go ahead and put that back up there so people can follow along here. Go ahead. Where you going now? Go ahead.
I'm staying true to my hell no list, and I'm fading those Utah Jazz. Portland's been playing a lot of games lately. They played last night, so let's take them on that first half plus the 6.
All right, going for it plus the 6. Damn, that's just a little craziness there is what we got going on. Now, again, guys, the Hell No list, of course, is updated on a daily basis. So the Lakers today for that shit performance last night, causing many of us and the over, Rob, all of us to crap the bet on that play. So they might be off come Monday. You never know. But in the meantime, let's just get the side bet out of
What happens when every team's on the hell no list? What happens?
In the meantime, guys, real quick, Utah is on their way to that death sentence. I mean, you said it earlier that
list. You're right. That's correct.
The chat room wanted them to be put on it already. If they lose to Portland tonight as a 10-point favorite, I mean, the sponge is on their head. They're getting walked in the chair. There's no way around it.
Quinn may be back in Columbia as an assistant coach for one of the greatest coaches of all time, coaching that Missouri Tigers basketball. What happens when half the teams are on your hell no list and they're playing the half of the teams that are live action? What the hell do you do, Ski?
I'm just saying it's daily updated. So just because somebody makes the hell no list here, if they transfer it to the shit list, then they're done. Like, you don't want to do that.
Shit list? No reversals.
You don't want
no second
chances. Back from the shit list. You're done. It's over. Utah's this close. The Sixers also on the road this close to becoming a total death sentence there. So just want to make sure we get the side bets correct here. I do believe
Phoenix.
There's right, Tony, you're on
They're
Phoenix.
Close.
All the rest of us are on Houston. Is that correct?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, just want to make sure that we understand.
No points.
Well, because I know you run through the tape and then you kind of hear what you want to hear. So I just want to make sure we're on record. So yes, Tony's Phoenix.
What do I want to hear here?
Yes.
Here's what I want to hear.
There's a win, shits, and giggles play was what you want to hear now, which is what the kind people have showed up for. So let's talk about it here, Finn. I was thinking about going with Phoenix, and then I realized, oh, hell no, we ain't going with Phoenix. So give me Houston, give me Miami, okay? And give me the damn Indiana Pacers to get the job done here tonight, Finn. Pacers at home, get it done with Oladipo. Miami, Sacramento, kiss my ass.
Well, that'll pay about 4-1 on the money line.
Welcome to small ball, babe. Welcome to small ball, okay? Houston, that's right. Taking it over. I don't want to hear your shit, Finn.
I think you need to add another team so you get some fucking payback
on it. Yeah, you're fucking running out of sawbucks is what you are. Rob Vino.
I know. My printer's working just fine.
Memo.com is where you can go and grab every one of his plays, guys. 30 days for $210. JR210 at sportsmemo.com gets it done. And of course, Finn and Ski Profit over at WagerTalk.com.
What's the odds you want? What do you want on that parlay tonight? That shit's grins.
Oh no! What are you gonna? Throw me a number out.
What do you want? 30-1.
30-1. Done. 30-1 it is.
30-1. That's what I threw at you yesterday. And you turned it down.
30-1 is fine. I'll take 15 points in each game.
Take the skirt off.
Yeah.
And
listen, the skirt was on last night when I took the Knicks and you went.
Guess what? I'm not taking the Knicks tonight either.
Yeah, you're damn straight you're not. Because they ain't playing.
His glasses have been off for the whole show. He means business.
That's right. Listen, I'm holding an over
threw them in the
26 and a half. I'm holding an over 26 and a half win total for the Knicks this year. I'll be damned if that shit ain't alive, all right? I don't want to hear it from you, Finn.
26 and a half?
Yes, they're almost there.
That's a big number for.
Right.
That's a big number for.
Yeah. You want to give me 50-1? What do you think? You want
yeah.
Oh, you want me to taking a page out of Tony's book?
Will you sell? What do you got on that? You got what do you got? You got 5 large doing 3 large?
That's about correct. That's about correct. It'll get done.
What would you sell it for?
It'll get done because you're bitching and moaning about it right now, which means it's going to happen. So thank you. Love it. Rob Vino.
What would you sell that future for so we could burn it on this show?
Lakers will rebound this weekend. Guys, best of luck with your plays tonight and, of course, all weekend long. We'll be back Monday, and we'll recap it all. And, yes, he's got to go out and try to figure out. What are you going to do? You're going to whore yourself out, get a couple extra Sawbucks this week, going to pay us on Monday? Is that what it is?
No one will pay. No,
you going back to the sex phone recording? What are you doing?
I'm not delusional. No one wants. I've been married 25 years. My anniversary is the only time I get.
Everybody wants the Finwood. Stop it, guys.
Honey, I got energy
Have
today.
a great week. And on the way out, just again, if we can, little reminder of the ski no hell list. Here it is. There it is. One more time. Oh, no way in hell.
Hell
now. It's
no,
way
Joe.
in hell.
I got you all shook up today.
Shit list is what it's going to be. Guys, good luck, man. Enjoy your plays. Rob, we'll talk to you guys on Monday.
Thank you, Joe. Take care, buddy.
My ass, you son of a... God damn it.